so today I was thinking we would do work our way towards Warrior 3, which is Virabhadrasana 3. Then we would work our way to standing splits, Urdhva, Prasarita, Ekapadasana, and then dancer's pose is Natarajasana. If you want a word with the most possible A's in it, Natarajasana is probably a good contender. So I'm not very good at remembering the Sanskrit names, but sometimes I'll look them up. Okay, so what's been happening? Vaccination rollout is good here and in a few other countries. India is suffering, so again my heart goes out to India, and it looks like it's starting to spread to other countries, Pakistan for instance, so it's a bummer, right? Let's start off, I think what we'll do is we'll start off on our backs and just relax for a little bit and then focus on the breath. So come onto your back, walk the feet in, knees bent, and that takes the pressure off the back. You want to keep nice length in the back of the neck, so I try and keep my chin tucked. If you need to put a cushion under your head, go for it. That's more comfortable. So it's like Shavasana, except we've got the knees on the feet on the ground and the knees bent. And then just rest one hand. I like to rest the right hand on the belly, the left hand on the chest. Try and keep the arms, elbows on the ground so the arms are relaxed. Close the eyes and just start focusing on the breath. So we're going to start taking longer, deeper breaths, and we're breathing in and out through the nose. As you inhale, feel the belly rise, and then feel the chest expanding. As you exhale, the chest contracts, the belly sinks. Inhale into belly, and then into the chest. And it's not, although I'm saying belly then chest, it's a nice smooth transition from belly into the chest. And as you exhale, the air is leaving the chest and then the belly. Long, slow, deep breaths. Each inhale, pulling in a little bit more air, a little bit more oxygen. So what we're going to do next, we're going to just work on the feet a little bit. So bring one leg up. I'm bringing my left leg up to the ceiling and holding onto the back of the leg. And we're just going to point the toes towards the ceiling and then flex the foot. Point and then flex. The official name is, when you point, it's a plantar flexion. And when you flex the foot like this, pushing the heel out, pulling the toes in, that's a dorsiflexion. But a lot of people just say point and flex. And this is going to work the foot's going to warm the foot up, and you're stretching the back of the heel, Achilles tendon, warming up those joints. So next we're just going to rotate the foot, circling in one direction. And then circle in the other direction, and then point and flex again. So when I did my anatomy class, they said to remember, which is plantar flexion, is you imagine you're pushing your foot into the ground, you know, trying to to get the soil solidly around a plant, so you're planting that foot. So basically pointing the foot, plantar flexion, flexing it, dorsiflexion. And we'll do that on the other foot, do that a few times. And then we rotate in one direction. And then the other direction. We pull the knees in, we hold onto the back of the legs, and we just rock ourselves up. Come into a seated position. I'm just coming into an easy seated position, legs crossed, try and get tall, nice length in the spine. If your knees are high, if your back is rounded, sit on a block or something like that, or a cushion. Little bit of neck stretching. We're going to sort of just rest the hands on the knees, and we're bringing the right ear to the right shoulder. Not forcing the head down, we're just letting the weight of the head stretch the neck out, getting a nice stretch on the left side of the neck here. I'm going to keep my I'm going to keep my head over to the side and start bringing my head forward just a little. See what difference that makes. Finding those tight areas in the neck. And then bringing the head towards the back of the room. We bring the head back up to center and then over to the other side. Stretching out the other side of the neck. And we're breathing. Now remember always to breathe, don't hold the breath. And most of the time we're breathing in and out through the nose. We take the head backward, you're keeping the side stretch, we're taking the head backward. We bring the head back up to center. We tuck the chin. Now this time we're going to take the hands behind the head and just encourage the chin in a little closer, stretching out the back of the neck. And then we bring the hands down and we carefully take the head back. Always careful when the head goes back. Never jerk the head back. Don't take the head back if you have any neck issues. And we bring the head back to neutral. And then we're going to turn the head over to one side, keeping the shoulders facing forward. And the movement tends to follow the movement of the eyes. So as you turn the eyes behind you, the movement of the neck should follow, of the head should follow. Inhale to center. Exhale, we turn the head in the other direction. Inhale back to center. Bring the right arm up, parallel to the ground. Retract the shoulder back. Use the other arm, pull that arm in. So we're pulling above the elbow. We get an easy stretch. Just start off easy. The way I like stretches is I start off nice and easy. I use the breath. Inhale, getting length. Exhale, going a little deeper into the stretch. At the same time, I'm trying to soften that area that I'm stretching out. A little bit of a challenge, right? But sometimes you can just back off the stretch slightly. Just try and soften it. Inhale, and then you go into the stretch a little deeper. If you go in too fast, the body's going to sort of object. It's going to tighten up. So if you go into it slowly, the body sort of works with you. That's why I try and always say, listen to your body. Other side, bring the other arm up parallel to the ground. Take the shoulder back slightly. Pull that arm in, easy stretch. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, we're pulling that arm in a little bit closer. We're trying to soften those areas we're stretching. Maybe back off slightly. And then we inhale, exhale a little deeper. Release. Take both arms to the side. Arms parallel, hands facing down, eagle arms. We bring the right arm under the left arm. We get the back of the hands or the palms parallel. We see if we can touch the nose with the thumb. We then bring the arms up. You're getting a nice stretch across the upper back between the shoulder blades. We breathe. We release. We extend the arms to the side again. We bring the left arm under the right arm, hands parallel, back of the hands or the palms. So I've got my fingers of my left hand inside the palm of the right hand. I'm trying to touch the nose with my thumb. And then I'll bring the arms up. I'm getting taller at the same time, getting a nice stretch across the upper back. And then breathe. And release. Easy twist, placing the right hand onto the left leg. Always doing very easy twists at the beginning of a session. We inhale, get tall, exhale as we twist over to the left side. We inhale, coming out of the twist, exhale over to the other side. Inhale, back to center, and then just work on the shoulders, loosen up a little bit. Whatever feels good. I like to work on one shoulder at a time. I'm bringing it forward, up, back and down. Then I'll work on the other shoulder, up and down, whatever feels good. Just try and loosen up. We hold a lot of tension in the shoulders, so this is good. Okay, onto your hands and knees. Let's do cat-cow a few times. So my wrists are under the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. This is called tabletop when we're just hanging out here. Cat-cow, we inhale, belly down, head up. And then we exhale, rounding the back, taking the chin. Inhale, exhale. Wave-like motion, the wave starting from the base of the spine, working its way through into the neck. So we're going to add the leg. We're going to add the leg movement. So I'm going to walk forward just to give myself a little bit of room. Inhale, right leg comes up, looking up. Exhale, you're pulling the knee in, taking the chin. Inhale, extend. Exhale as the knee comes in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We switch. Inhale, extending the other leg, looking up. On the exhales, knee in, tucking the chin. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Child's pose, toes touching, knees apart, and we just gently rest the head on the ground or the hands, and we take a few breaths. And this is an option if we're all different levels here. If we're doing some poses like, maybe we're working on the standing splits or something, and you say, no way can I do this. You can just watch or do whatever, or you can come into child's pose, take a little breather. So in child's pose, my toes are touching, knees apart. Now what I like to do here, I'm extending the arms, extended child's pose, and then I'm walking the arms over to one side to get a little bit of an extra side stretch, stretching out the lower back. So if your hands are over to the left, you're going to feel the stretch on the right side of the back. And another thing I always want the head supported. And what I'm doing is I'm making a fist with my left hand, resting my forehead on the fist. Nice, easy stretch on the back. And then we walk over to the other side, stretching the other side of the lower back. So this time I'm stretching over to the right side, so I'm making a fist with my right hand. You don't have to, you can have both arms extended to the side if you want. And then we're back to center. So what we're going to do next, we're going to do some core work, but a little bit different here. So in the most recent yoga journal that I received, what we do, this is tabletop. What we normally do is we bring one leg up, and then we'll bring one leg up on the opposite arm. Now what they did, is they just bring the arm up. Now if it's too much on the wrist, you can make fists with the hands, or you can roll the mat up and put the mat on the inside, the rolled up mat on the inside of the hand. Well, what they did is you bring one arm up. So I'm bringing the right arm up, just the arm. We're not doing the legs. We bring the arm a little bit higher than shoulders. And then you start moving the whole body forward, a little bit forward. And you're going to feel that core working. And then we bring the whole body a little bit more forward, keeping that arm raised slightly above the shoulder. And see, you can go a little bit further if you want. And the more you go, the more you're working, you're feeling that core working. Maybe you're shaking slightly, you're breathing. How long do you hold this? Until it becomes a little bit too difficult. So come out at any time. We're breathing. So my left arm on the ground is working. I'm feeling that core working. A little bit of shaking too. And then we're going to switch. We bring the other arm up. Raise it. It's slightly above the shoulders. Keep it above the shoulders. You start bringing the whole body slightly forward. See how that feels? And then we come a little bit more forward. You're breathing, you're not holding the breath. And this is tougher than you think. Looks easy, but it is a little bit of a challenge. And I can feel my abs working, my whole core tightening up. And then we come into child's pose. And then we come up. So try that. I'm going to do that regularly. Maybe I'll try it once a day even. See how that feels. They say it really helps with the core, and it makes it easier to go into Navasana, boat pose. Bring the hands behind you. So we're sitting on the heels. The fingers are lined up with the toes. Fingers are pointed towards the front of the mat. We start off with the chin tucked. We open the chest. I'm bending the elbows very slightly. I'm taking the head back carefully, and then I'm going to bring those hips off the ground, breathing. Nice bit of a back bend. It's nice opening the whole front body. You're feeling the arms stretching, the upper ribs, opening the hips. We bring the sit bones down. We come into tabletop. We tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Down dog, you're pushing the hands into the ground, especially the thumb, index finger. You're pulling the armpits towards the ground. You're looking between the legs. Bring the big toes closer to each other. Walk the dog. Bend one knee as you straighten the opposite leg. Do a few of these. Stretching out the calf muscles. We walk forward between the hands. Inhale as you come halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward and down. Bend the knees. Inhale as you come up. Exhale into mountain. Half salute. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Reach up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale into mountain, Tadasana. Inhale, reach up. Try and touch the ceiling. Exhale as you hinge forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward. Inhale, we come all the way up. This time keep the hands together, keep the fingers interlaced. Point the index finger towards the ceiling. Reach towards the ceiling, getting length. Exhale over to one side, getting a side stretch. Try and keep the whole body in one plane. Try not to let one shoulder come more forward than the other shoulder. We inhale up, reach up, and exhale to the other side. So we're going to go from side to side with the breath. We inhale up, exhale over. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, and hold. 3 breaths, about. I'm looking up slightly towards the ceiling. I'm coming up on an inhale, exhale to the other side. About 3 breaths. We inhale up, we keep the arms raised. We're trying to keep the arms either side of the ears. We take a backward bend, gauging the glutes. Try and keep the arms either side of the ears as you bend backward, go as far as feels good. We inhale, coming up. We hinge forward. And then we bring the hands down to the ground, bending the knees if you need to. Head is totally relaxed. So here I'm pushing my big toes into each other. Little gap between the ankles. Head is totally relaxed. Take hold of the back of the legs, so just behind the ankles. Bend the knees. Belly in contact with the legs. A good grip with the hands, a lot of arm strength, you're pulling yourself down. And if the back is okay, you can start to straighten the legs a little bit more. And then slowly come up. Just getting a little bit of a hamstring stretch there. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, back into mountain. Come to the front of the mat. Feet parallel. Bend the knees. Inhale, chair. Exhale, we fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We walk into plank. We bring the knees down. We're bringing the chin, chest forward and down, elbows in. Inhaling into cobra. Cobra, hips are down, elbows are bent. We're looking up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, we bring the right leg up to the ceiling. Extended down dog. We stack the hips. So I'm bringing my right hip over the left hip. I'm bending that top knee. Hands are still solidly on the ground, getting a little bit of a hip opener. We extend the leg. We bring that top foot between the hands. We come into warrior one. We come back into plank. Knees down, chin, chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We bring the left leg up, extended down dog. We stack the hips. You're bringing the left hip over the right hip. You're bending that top knee. So we're trying to get the hips facing the side of the room. We extend the leg. Top foot between the hands, really just the back foot. Warrior one other side. We come back into plank. Knees down, chin, chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold down dog, 4 or 5 breaths. If you want, you can do child's pose. If you've got lots of energy, you could do the vinyasa, plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. We all end up in downward facing dog. We look forward. We jump or walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, knees bent. We're back in chair. And then we come all the way up and into mountain. Knees bent. Inhale, chair. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We walk into plank. Chaturanga, or knees, chin, chest to ground. Chaturanga, you bring the whole body forward. You keeping the elbows in close. Elbows to 90 if you can. Up dog, arms straight, hips are off the ground. We exhale, down dog. We inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're back in warrior one. And then this time we're going to transition to warrior two. So warrior two, I'm readjusting my feet so the feet make a 90-degree. Shoulders nice and soft. Energy through the arms. Front knee over the front ankle, never forward of the ankle. And we do a reverse warrior. And we come into plank. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. We inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're in warrior one. On the other side, stay in warrior one. I'm going to switch, you stay. We exhale into warrior two. We'll do a reverse warrior. And then we come into plank. Chaturanga, elbows in, up dog, down dog. If chaturanga is tough, up dog is tough, you just bring the chin, chest forward, and then you can come into cobra instead of up dog. It's a little bit easier. Just do what feels good for you. And then we look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, knees bent. We're back in chair, and then we come all the way up. Okay, take the legs wide. Actually, have a block handy. If you have a block, take hold of the block, put it in front, take the legs nice and wide. The feet are parallel. You're going to hinge at the hips. And you're going to bring your hands onto the block. So it's this from the side view. It's like this. So legs are vertical, arms are vertical. You're making a nice rectangle shape between the arms, legs, chest and the floor. Legs are pretty wide. We then bring the right hand onto the block. Lower shoulder pulled in, down, away from the head, and in. We open the chest. We bring that left arm up. You want to keep that top arm nicely lined up with the back. Don't yank it back, don't bother the shoulder. We open up, you're moving the top arm and the back as one movement when we breathe. You're getting a nice stretch, you're opening the chest, probably feeling a bit of a stretch on the inside of the legs, stretching out the adductors. Other side, left hand onto the block, you're pulling that shoulder down and in, and we open up. And we bring that hand down, and we then start walking the feet together, heel, toe, heel, toe. We bend the knees, we put the block to one side, and we just roll up. Inhaling as the arms come up, exhaling to mountain. So what we're going to do next is let's do a few lunges and a bit of opening of the hamstrings. So we come to the front of the mat. We come into chair, inhaling. Exhale, we fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up, trying to get the back flat. Exhale, we plant the hands. We come into plank. Elbows in. So as I come into chaturanga, I'm turning my elbows in. I'm bending the elbows. I'm trying to get the inside of the elbows facing a little bit more forwards. And then I drop to 90. Some people can't hold it at 90, so they drop to the floor, which is okay. And up dog, hips are off the ground, arms are straight, don't shrug the shoulders. We engage the core as we exhale back into down dog. We inhale the right leg up, extended down dog, and then we sweep that foot through and we're in a low lunge. And we're going to hold this for a little bit. You're going to feel a stretch on the front of that back leg. This front foot is glued to the mat. Imagine it's glued to the mat and you're pulling the foot in towards you. If you want a little bit more stretch, you can bring the arms up. If you want even more stretch, you bring the back knee off the ground. I'm bringing the back knee off the ground. I'm trying not to get the right hip much higher. So you don't want to just come up all the way up like this. You're trying to just bring that back knee off the ground if you can. And then as we come down very slowly. And we bring the hands either side of that front foot. Take a breather. We walk that foot forward an inch or two. And on an exhale, we start to straighten the leg, or get it a little bit straighter. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, extend. Inhale, lunge. Exhale as you extend. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, extend. We hold the extension. We walk the hands a little bit closer. And some people find it difficult to get the back fairly neutral and the hands on the ground. So this is where 2 blocks might be useful. You want to point the toes and the knee up towards the ceiling. Eventually that leg is going to be straight. You're going to engage the quads. If it's too much of a stretch, if it's too intense, just back off a little bit, bend the knee if you need to. We go back into the lunge. We bring the hands either side of the front foot. So I'm basically on my fingertips and I'm going to switch. We could do a bit of a flow. We could do, go through that vinyasa and switch, but I'm just doing an easy switch there. Bring the hands onto the leg. Glue the foot, pull the foot in, bring the arms up. Tuck the toes, this is all optional. Bringing that back knee off the ground, hold. Challenge for the balance as well. And then as we go slowly, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We bring the hands either side of the front foot. I'm on my fingertips again. I'm going to walk that foot forward again, and let's move with the breath. Inhale, and on the exhale we extend the leg. Inhale into the lunge. Exhale, we extend. Inhale. Exhale, extend. Hold the extension. Walk the hands in a little bit closer. Come onto your fingertips or use blocks. Check that the kneecap, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. And we're stretching out the back of that leg. And we release. Hands either side of the front foot again. And then let's just walk that back foot forward. We come halfway up, we fold forward, Bend the knees, we're back in chair. And we come into mountain. Tree pose. We're going to balance on the left foot. We bring the right foot inside that leg. The foot, remember, is above or below the knee. Try not to push into the knee. I like to bring the foot up inside the leg, below, above the knee. Palms together, palms to chest. Open across the collarbone. Engage the muscles of that standing leg. And whenever you're ready, arms come up. Some people like to have the hands, fingers touching. I like to keep the arms parallel. Do whatever feels good. This is going to strengthen the standing leg. It's going to strengthen the foot, calf muscle. You've got a hip opener. You have to concentrate just to hold this pose. And we slowly come out. And we go to the other side. So we're going to be doing this pose again after a few more back bends. Tree, other side. Engage the quads. If the foot is above that knee, on the inside of that standing leg, you should feel those inner quads working. You should feel those muscles engaging. Arms up whenever you're ready. And the gaze, if you gaze at something not moving, it really helps with the balance. If your balance is still a challenge, you can, just be close to a chair or a wall, just lean against some furniture or part of the house. And then we come out. So what we're going to do, we're going to work our way to camel briefly. Have we got time for all these things? Let's do a brief camel, because that's a nice back bend. Come on high up on your knees. I just want to warm the back up a little bit before we go into dancer's pose. So we're just going to support the lower back. And I'm high up on the knees, I'm tucking my toes, and I'm just going to start leaning backward. I'm trying to keep the hips directly over the knees. The head goes back carefully, and we hold for about 3 breaths. And then we slowly come back up, and we come into child's pose. The full camel, we like before, high up on the knees, toes are tucked, hips are over the knees, and we take one arm and we bring it to one heel. Now if you can't reach the heels, just do that previous pose, supporting the back. Now if you can reach the heels, once you're there, you want to make sure the hips are over the knees. So I'm bringing my hips forward, I'm opening the chest, and the head goes back very carefully. Breathe. And then as we come out, we bring one arm up, we bring the other arm up with the head, and we're back into child's pose. One more back bend. So I'm just going to reposition my mat. This one is Dhanurasana. It's a little bit like wheel pose, but we're face down. So wheel pose, you've got the hands and the feet on the ground. Right, this one, we're just going to find the feet. I'm holding onto the inside of the ankles. This is called Dhanurasana. I'm pushing into the hands. I'm keeping the legs parallel. Try not to let the legs splay out. and then we use the strength of the legs to open the chest, and I'm trying to get the thighs, front of the thighs off the ground. The challenging part is to keep the legs parallel, try not to let the legs splay. If you let the legs splay, it's going to put more pressure on the back. I'm opening the chest, I'm looking up, I'm using a bit more length, trying to lift the legs a little bit higher, and then I'm slowly coming down and totally relaxing. We come back into child's pose. We come onto our hands and knees, downward facing dog. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up, exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, we come all the way up. Back into mountain. So what we're doing, we're trying to warm the back up. Make it a little bit easier for dancer's pose. So that Natarajasana pose, we're holding onto both legs. In dancer's pose, we just hold onto one leg. So we're going to come back into tree. I'm coming a little bit further forward. Actually, I think I'll do it from the side view. So we're back in tree. So I've got my right foot inside the left leg. And then I'm going to take hold of that right foot with my right hand. Try and keep your balance. And I'm pushing that foot into the hand as I hinge forward. I'm extending my left arm forward. I'm hinging and coming into Natarajasana. That's how you pronounce it, dancer's pose. Eventually that back foot is going to pop above the head. And then we slowly come out. Now what happens a lot is people will try and come into the pose, and this leg goes out and you totally lose the balance. So you've got to keep those legs in nice and close to each other, and then just hinge forward to keep that balance. Other side. Left foot is inside the right leg. We briefly come into tree. And then we're going to take hold of the left foot. Now you can take hold of the outside or the inside of the foot. Extend the right arm forward. You're pushing into that back hand as much as you're reaching forward. Go slow. Try not to let that top leg splay out. You're breathing. Take it slow and easy. And we're opening up. And then we come out of the pose. Phew. Come to a standing position. Actually, have a block handy again. Actually, I think I'll do the side view. From a standing position, inhale as the arms come up. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we take the right leg back. We're back in our lunge. I like lunges. But this time we're going to come into a high lunge. So I'm going to hop that back and then hop that back foot forward. The block is in front so that we can come into Warrior 3 prep. So I'm bringing that right leg up. This is the prep. You might not want to go any further. If you want to go into the full Warrior 3, if your back is in good condition, try Warrior 3. You can swoop the arms back. This is a little bit easier. You're trying to keep the hips nice and even to the ground, and then you can extend the arms forward, and then back into the prep. We didn't hold that too long. And then walk the hands closer to that foot, trying to raise that top leg, and then take hold of that left ankle with the left hand. Pull yourself closer to the leg as you raise that right leg towards the ceiling, coming into standing splits. And then we slowly come down, back into the lunge. And it's a challenge. A lot of stretch on the back of the leg. Instead of doing all that, you could just stay in the lunge if you'd rather. As I said at the beginning of the class, and I'm always saying this, just do what feels right. Just listen to your body, don't force it into anything. Anyway, other side. Lunge on the other side. Block in front. We lift that back knee off and we come into Warrior 3 prep, Virabhadrasana 3. Take your time. You can stay here if you want to go a little deeper into the full Warrior 3. We bring the arms up, or we bring them forward, which is a bit more challenging. This is the more classical version. Bring the hands to the ground, and then the standing splits. I'm walking my hands either side of that bottom foot. I'm going to take hold the back of the leg, and as I pull my torso closer to that leg, I'm raising that left leg. Eventually you want to stack the legs coming into the splits, and then we slowly come back down, back into the lunge, and then let's go into child's pose. And then slowly come up. Okay, challenging poses. We'll throw those in again from time to time. We don't do those very often. So, Warrior 3. I'm not a fan of Warrior 3, so that's probably why I don't do it often. But, you know, we should do things that we don't love. It gives us a challenge, it gives us a bit of variety. Come onto your back. If you have a block handy, take the block and just slide it half height underneath the sacrum. So we're in a supported bridge. Arms either side of you, palms facing up. Another thing you could do with the block is you could have it at half height, still under the sacrum, and extend the legs. So you're going to choose whichever position you prefer. I'm coming into the supported bridge. If you don't have a block, you could just be in Shavasana. Moisten the lips. So the block is under the sacrum, it's not under the lower back. It should be very comfortable. In the bridge, you keeping the gaze towards the ceiling, try not to turn the head from side to side. I mean, it's not so bad in this pose because we're low, but in a regular bridge, I always tell people to keep the gaze towards the ceiling. That is essential to do in shoulder stand. Never turn the head to the side in shoulder stand. It's really bad. It could hurt your neck, so don't do it. Walk the feet in a little bit closer. So for the bridge people, lift the hips up a little bit higher. put the block to one side, interlace the hands, the fingers, walk the arms closer and closer so we're getting more space underneath the neck. Push the arms, the hands into the ground a lot, push the head into the ground, breathe. If you do a lot of computer work, if you're a cyclist, this is a really good pose. And keep the legs parallel. What you could do is, if you can reach the block, you could slide it in between the thighs and squeeze. That stops you from letting the legs splay out. You don't want the legs to splay out in bridge. And then we all come down. Some of you may already be in Shavasana. We're going to do a full body stretch. Bring the arms over the head. Get as much length as you can. Get a bit more length. Pull the hips up and away from the feet. Pull the back up and away from the hips. Lift up the head, tuck the chin and bring the head back down. Getting length in the back of the neck. Add a little bit of a side stretch, coming into that banana shape. Stretching out one side of the body. And then we stretch out the other side. And then we recenter. And back in Shavasana. If you need to do a twist as well, you can. We haven't done many twists today, so it's up to you if you want to add a little twist before Shavasana. But I'm going straight into Shavasana. So arms either side, palms up, eyes closed. I've got a little bit of a gap, a couple of feet between my feet. Just totally relax, let yourself sink into the ground. Breathing is regular. You're not controlling the breath, but become aware of it. By becoming more aware, more focused on the breath, you're becoming more present, less distracted. And just check the body out, working from the feet, up the legs. Make sure you're not holding tension. Up through the hips, the torso, the back. Working away from the hands, up through the arms, totally relaxed there. Shoulders soft, face is soft. Start taking a deeper breath. Inhale through the nose. And let's exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Regular breathing. Walk the feet in. Just roll over to one side, keep the eyes closed. Take a breath or two. Again, with the eyes closed, we gently come up into a seated position. And we'll do two or three more breaths here. But this time, as you inhale, you're sweeping the arms up, bringing the palms together. Keep the palms together as you exhale and bring the arms down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale as they come down. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the palms together. Come into Namaste.